circumvent the merchants. The merchants, it'd be like the people that supply Kent Folger would charge you 50 cents for a Diet Pepsi. By the time Kent buys it and sells it to you, it's 75 cents, but they're going to sell it to you now for 35 cents. Directly, because they want to get rid of this tea that they have stacked up in their warehouse, and they're probably going to break even or make a little bit of money. Who's getting crushed on this? The merchants. And that's what happened, if that makes sense. Okay, that's what happened. So the East India Company made the decision to bypass colonial merchants and sell their tea directly to the American colonists. Because of this, the price of tea would drop for the colonists. There's no middleman, so to speak. You know what I mean by that? Now the colonial merchants could no longer compete because of the low prices offered on tea to the colonists by the East India Company. Did some merchants have some tea stored up? But they couldn't afford to sell it for as low as the East India Company was going to sell directly to the colonists. So what happens to the colonial merchants? What do? Go belly up. They go out of business because they can't sell their tea. Now, who just said, was it JC that said that there might be some that didn't want to do that? And there were. She's exactly right. There were some colonists who stayed loyal to the merchants. And they were very upset about this deal. Okay? They really didn't think it was right. So most colonists were okay with it. Many colonists, on the other hand, were sympathetic to business owners, and so they reacted negatively to the actions of the East India Company. And their most famous reaction to the Tea Act occurred in Boston in late 1773. So these radical colonists who did not like the fact that the East India Company was selling directly to the colonists and running the colonial merchants out of business took some action. And guess who most of them were members of? Sons of Liberty. And what happened is the Sons of Liberty disguised themselves. They boarded 3 British ships and they destroyed 342 chests of tea that were on which ships? British ships that were owned by East India Company. So, the Sons of Liberty disguised themselves. What did they disguise themselves as? Anyone know? As Indians, yeah. And they boarded 3 British ships that had tea on them from the East India Company, and they destroyed 342 chests of tea by dumping them into the Boston Harbor. Now those chests were about 45 tons of tea that they dumped into the harbor. About 45 tons. 342 chests filled with tea, which amounted about 45 tons of tea. Thousands of dollars in today's prices. Thousands of dollars. Now, what was this action in American history known as? The Boston Tea Party. And it caused some mixed reactions among colonists in the 13 colonies. You guys are doing really good. So this action by the Sons of Liberty goes down in history as the Boston Tea Party, and it's going to cause mixed reactions among the colonists in the 13 colonies. What would be the mixed reactions? That means 2 different opinions maybe on it. What would one opinion? A lot of colonists, when they heard about the Sons of Liberty and what they did, would think what? Way to go, that's awesome. Way to stick it to them. Others would be shocked by that and concerned. Why would others be concerned about that rather than think it was a great thing? Okay, you're not that radical yet. You're right. So if we got this class here and the 2 rows over there come in here one day and they take all my books off the shelf, throw them all over the room and ruin them, and you're all part of this class, that bunch there thinks, well, that guy ticked us off the other day in class, good for him. You guys, who may not be totally loyal to me, might be going, oh, I don't know about that. Why? what I'm going to do in retaliation, not to just that row, those two rows, but since all of you are AP history kids, or all of you are American colonists, I'm going to stick it to all of you for what they did. And that was the mixed emotions between colonists. Is that some thought, oh, that's great, that's what the East India Company deserves. Others going, oh God, I wish they wouldn't have done that, because what are they going to do now? What they did now, the British Parliament in retaliation, is they passed the Intolerable Acts, and you're going to learn about those tomorrow. They were intolerable. So what did the British government do in response to the Boston Tea Party? They passed the Intolerable Acts of 1774, which is our next subtopic. Now, let me give you an idea kind of where I think we're at. Tomorrow is Wednesday. We will lecture and we will get pretty close to be done. Probably not quite. Then Thursday we will finish the lecture. Friday, depending on how many are here, we might watch, I have a really good movie called Patriots Rising. And it talks about all the things we've talked about and shows you all the things we talked about. And then we would have a review and then a test probably about next Tuesday or Wednesday. Now, if I have very few kids here Friday, I may save the video until Tuesday because you don't have school Monday. And then we'll probably have the review about Wednesday and a test Thursday, something to that manner. So we will for sure, excuse me, have a test next week sometime, our first one. Okay, any questions at all? All right.